Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation about Ajinomoto. This presentation will include the technology proposition and the macro environment analysis. So first we'll get to the technology proposition. So first we'll analyze some of the current situation of the warehousing of Ajinomoto. So warehousing is becoming a increasingly important in the supply chain to secure a competitive advantage in terms of a better service for customer, reduced lead times and costs in the mass customization age. And within the mass customization environment, optimizing the operational performance of warehousing can enrich the competitive advantage. Obviously, and in response, vendors of warehouse management strive to offer additional advanced features in order to improve the capabilities of the system. And we also have to mention about the complexity of FMCG's warehouse management system to know that the importance of warehouse for the FMCG's markets in general and for Ajinomoto especially. So the performance of the items in FMCG were affected by the two major KPIs in the supply chain aspect, which is the inventory accuracy and the time of check-in check-out. And it's related to the two aspects. First is the limited shelf life. So different products will have a different shelf life, especially when Ajinomoto has a very huge portfolio of products, from seasoning powder to beverage powder and sauce. And each of these items will have a different shelf life. So some need to be managed first in, first out, or some need to be managed in another way. So if the products are not sold before they expire, they will automatically end up becoming waste and leading to the lost revenue and even the legal issues if any accidents happens. And the second is the complex SKUs. So the FMCG industrial deals with a large number of stock keeping units, which can be a challenge to manage them effectively. And when the SKUs are organized properly, it can lead to the slow and disorganized stock in, stock out, and the stock count process, resulting in the efficient warehouse operations. Next we will come to the technology recommendation for Ajinomoto is the automatic mobile robots, which is known as AGV. So how can this AGV work? So here I will mention some of its basic function that usually a AGV can work in a basic warehouse. First is navigation. So this robot can use the sensors and cameras to navigate the warehouse space, and with some of the predetermined paths marked like a line. These allow the AGV to move freely and adapt to the changes in the environment. Next is the sensing interaction. So these robots will equipped with various sensors, and they can detect and maneuver around obstacles, identify goods, and safely operate alongside human workers. The next function is data processing. So these modern robots are connected to a central software which sends them the instructions and receives updates on the activities. So the sophisticated software gives order continuously, optimizing the action for efficiency. The next function is the machine learning and AI. So this advanced technology can utilize the learning algorithm and artificial intelligence to improve themselves over time. So they can analyze the patterns, predict the needs, and even plan the best routes and the methods for picking, sorting, and they will become more and more efficient as they can process the data daily. The next is the collaboration. So robots can work with other robots and other human workers to streamline the warehouse operations. So for example, there are some basic tasks that the robot can easily do and replace the humans. However, there are some like technical or the specific tasks that need the wise and the wisdom of human. So in order to utilize both the robots and the human workforce, collaboration is the best function of the HGV. So here I will propose some advantage and disadvantage of applying these robots into the warehouse management system. First, they can improve accuracies by having a determined position and determined map in the system, so they can easily pick and move the items into the exact position. Also improve the productivity, avoid manual labor and safety risk, and they also minimize space on the warehouse floor. So it's basically mean that one robot they can easily move around like 1,000 square meter warehouse without tired, and so that a huge warehouse we just need to use like 3 to 4 robots in order to work, so it can significantly maximize the space on the warehouse floor, so that we can use to store more products and items. And about the challenge, first is the scalability challenge. So scaling HGV system to accommodate growth can be very challenging. It's integrated with a lot of cost and also the efforts as well as the system in order to have these HGV work effectively in a new warehouse. So expand the HGVs will need a lot of additional planning as well as resources. And next is obviously the high cost. So there will be many type of costs related to applying the HGV. We can mention is the maintenance cost, initial investment especially. So in order to like purchase and implement this HGV system, we need to consider a lot of. So in order to effectively use the HGV, the Ajinomoto has to carefully assess their ROI and the long-term benefits in order to justify this investment. And the maintenance and repair. So these robots require regular maintenance to ensure that they are working productively without any error in the system. So Ajinomoto have to like establish the maintenance schedules and have the backup plans in case of any unsuspected breakdowns. So how implementing HGV in the warehouse is a feasible and a potential way for Ajinomoto to improve the productivity of their warehouse management system. So first is the technology availability and accessibility. So Ajinomoto is famous around the world for their strong base of technology, partner with some of a big technology in the world like SAP, and around the world, not only in Vietnam but also in some of the company like in Europe or in Japan. Ajinomoto has developed a very strong system of technology. So having a very strong base of technology, they can this is a very their strength in order to fasten the process of implementing the HGV into the system. And they has also developed a multi-depth automated warehouse by iLift in England. It means that they have come up with an idea to utilize the automatic technology within their warehouses. So HGVs will also a potential way that they need to consider. And the next reason is their strategy. So Ajinomoto has the expanding strategy of management system and analysis philosophy across the Southeast Asia. So with the implementing of robots and automatic technology in a warehouse, they can easily utilize and easily expand these automatic warehouse around the other Southeast Asian countries. So next we'll come to a second questions about the current environments analysis. So with the context of is given is that the intricate political landscape among several north-side countries has led to the tightening of fuel resources, inevitably impacting the global supply chain. So in this case, are Ajinomoto be affected by these scenarios? It is, of course, because Ajinomoto is also join the process of global supply chain and global logistics. So any problems or any crisis happens within these supply chain and the logistics will also obviously affect Ajinomoto and its partner. So so what is the consequence of this scenario? So limited the fuel resources will lead to the cost of fuel increase and the scarcity of fuel increase. Fuel increase. So with a higher cost of fuel, the shipments, the shipping companies or the forwarding company also need to higher the cost of moving and shipping the items in order to compensate with the increasing cost of fuel. So it will lead to the cost of cargo movement rise, and with the rise in the cost of cargo movement, they will lead to the three consequences. First is the delays in transportation of raw materials and finished products, and also create long and short-term ripples across supply chains and affecting business agility. And of course, the end customer will also be affected by the higher price of the products. So which strict measures should the Ajinomoto adopt in order to mitigate this problem? So first is using a diversification of energy sources. So Ajinomoto can explore renewable energy options such as solar, wind power in order to mitigate the reliance on the traditional energy of fuel. So they can mitigate the effect of price fluctuation. And they also need to consider investing on the on-site renewable energy generation to offset the energy costs and reduce dependence on the grid. The next is the supplier management and diversification. So it is important for Ajinomoto to build a strong relationships with a wide network of suppliers, and also have to plan to negotiate long-term contract to secure favorable pricing and terms. So diversifying the supplier base can reduce the dependency of Ajinomoto on some of single important source, and they can easily mitigate the impact of supply chain disruptions and price fluctuation. The next is supply chain optimization. So implements a lean practice to minimize waste and streamline process, reducing transportation costs. Ajinomoto could also utilize technologies such as supply chain management software to optimize the inventory levels, improving the forecasting accuracy and reduce the lead time. And final is in order to on time solve this problem, Ajinomoto have to have a risk management and contingency planning. Exactly. So they conduct a risk assessment, can identify the potential risks to energy supply, material availability, and transportation logistics. So with these plan and forecasting, the Ajinomoto can act against the price volatility through financial instruments and forward contracts where feasible. And that's all about my presentation of Ajinomoto. So thank you for listening, and here's the reference.